The PPO dentist that invested $20,000-ish in full mouth rehabs. Listen up, dental nachos. You can do full mouth rehabs on PPO fees. I'm here with the amazing Dr. Brett. So glad he's chatting with us. He is one of the graduates of the Ripe Global Training Program. We have an amazing deal with the amazing Dr. Lincoln Harris. Dr. Lincoln Harris is 100% taller than me, but I am 100% funnier than him. We've done a study on it. He has partnered with us to help dentists learn more, do better, feel better. Dr. Brett, catch our audience up. Where are you sitting right now? Tell us a little bit about your dentisting life.
Man, I'm glad to be here, Paul. I love what you do for the dental community.
Thanks.
I really appreciate you having me on. So I am Brett. I'm a general dentist in Jonesboro, Arkansas, which is a large town to me, but a small town for everybody else that's watching. I'm currently in one of my operatories hiding from my team.
Like it. It's a smart move.
So exactly. I'm in the corner. If they find out I'm here, you may hear them. And I'm just a general practice dentist. I've been in practice 17 years. I have a partner who's my first cousin, and we do just a little bit of everything. We're a family practice. I do implants. She does orthodontics. She does Botox. And we just have a family-owned business, trying to be better, taking care of our patients every day.
I love that. And, you know, even when and I've worked with dentists my whole life, but even when we work with a one or two dentists, it can be isolating to be a dentist, you know, stay connected with the community. I love what you said before, you were a lurker learning on these groups, right? Whether it was Ripe Global or Dental Nachos or Dental Town, you know, Link and I, we're not lurkers. We're loud, the two of us, but you were lurking. Tell us a little bit how you found out about Ripe Global and what inspired you to say, hey, I want to learn more about how this group can train me.
Well, you're absolutely right. Like, I spent all of my early career thinking that I was in a bubble by myself. I was excited about dentistry, but I didn't have anybody that wanted to talk about it with me. Like, I'm even married to a dentist and she doesn't want to talk about dentistry with me.
That's great.
So like, I was on Dental Town when I was young, and then that graduated to Facebook pages like Dental Nachos and Ripe Global. Well, Ripe Global to me is a Facebook page is where I would go to like feel good about amazing dentistry, even though I couldn't do it all myself. So I'd have a hard week and I'd log on the Ripe Global Facebook page and I'd see people doing rubber dam, amazing dentistry, and just feel good about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I got to the fellowship because of that, because I was on that page. I reached a point where I was looking for other CE opportunities and I was following some hands-on CEs, and then COVID shut the world down. And I couldn't travel. And even if I could travel, I just closed my practice for 9 weeks, and I'm a private business owner, like no income for 9 weeks. Are you going to take off a week and a half to go to CE? So I found myself looking at this opportunity with Ripe Global, people that were showing everyday amazing quality dentistry and offering and to teach it to people. So, I mean, I signed up immediately. Sounded like a great idea.
I love this, Brett. And let's dig into the details, because us dentists, we love details. We want to know the probing depth of 15 lingual, even when we're working on 30. Why do we want to know it? Nobody knows. We went to dental school, our brain got totally mangled, right? I post a case online. They say, what was the patient's third grade teacher's name? I go, why is that relevant? So let's tell them about the details of Ripe Global. One, just to be ultra clear, you take this in your own office, in your own operatory. Just because we're on Dental Nachos and people never heard of it, tell us just a little bit about this process. Do you get models sent to you from Ripe Global? Tell our audience.
So this was unique when I signed up, and it was crazy because it'd never been done before. But this is truly hands-on remote learning. And what I mean by that is they mailed me a mannequin that I could attach to my chair. I've got my chair right here because I'm in my op. And it allowed me to do my hands-on training with my handpiece, with my equipment, with my composite, with my burrs in my office. So it allowed me to do it in a place I felt comfortable. And with the communication between the WebEx videos and the high definition photos, strangely enough, remote hands-on learning is more accurate than in-person hands-on learning.
Because why is that? Why do you think that is?
Well, think about this. If you're in a hotel or if you're in a clinic somewhere at an institute and you're prepping on a mannequin typodont and you're looking through 4X loops and your clinical instructor is looking through 4X loops, how are you getting great feedback there? Yeah. I'm taking photos and blowing them up to 20 and 30X with a DSLR. You can't tell me that my feedback's not better and that my learning is not better at that high magnification than it is with somebody looking over my shoulder. It's just better.
I'm with you. I mean, I've taught a lot of over the shoulder implant courses, and it's about the reps that you can get. Also, when you go to these courses, and there still is value to going to hands-on courses at a hotel, it just is not as actionable, and this sounds actionable. This is like cooking a meal using your own utensils, your own. You can tell I'm not a cook. I can't even say the right thing. I think it's like, my entire team, Brett, we all have Apple computers at Del Nachos. If I have to use someone else's computer, 2 seconds in, I want to throw it out the window. I can't open the right window, and we're using essentially the same computer. So dentists, even though we use essentially the same hand pieces and composites, when you get to use your own, it just brings, I'm assuming, it takes a comfort level from the CE with Link and his team to your patients. Have you found that to be true?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I've taken a lot of CE, and one thing that I've learned is it doesn't matter what you take, it matters what you take home. You have to be able to implement it in your practice with your patients.
Right there. It doesn't matter what you take with CE, it's what you take home to create better smiles, better life for yourself. That's really such a good point.
And like it or not, you talk about dentists, we're screwed up in the head. We will go take the most expensive CE, and then we will come home with a great mindset on Sunday night. And then Monday morning, our practice comes at us and we fall right back.
Well, life happens. You get it. You know what I recommend? I'm just going to interrupt this. If you're a practice owner, never check your text before 7 a.m. because I've never gotten a good text. Hey, Paul, love working for you. You're very funny. It's like, nope, my child's sick. I can't come in. So your life happens when you get back to your office that makes best intentions go totally sideways.
And I train athletically, and what I find is you have to remove the friction. And friction coming back, if you took it with this composite, but your composite is here, you're just creating reasons not to take it home and put it in your practice.
For sure. Dentists are good excuse makers.
If you have learned with your stuff and you are comfortable in your setting, you're much more likely to take that thing you learned on your mannequin and put it to your patient the next day or the next opportunity that comes up.
I love that. I'm talking here with the awesome Dr. Brett from Arkansas. He's taken the RIPE Global Training Program to get our Nacho deal on this amazing training program that teaches you everything from class 2s, crowns to full mouth rehabs. Text RIPE to 215-543-6454. Reach out to us at dentalnachos.com. Make sure, Nacho team, you guys get a screenshot of us with my It's Philly Thing sweatshirt on. Eagles are in the Super Bowl this weekend. I don't know if you heard about that. Brett, a lot of camaraderie here. Now, as we kind of wrap up in a few minutes here, I want you to share something with our audience. I love the video you made for Link's group, and I love what you're sharing already. So you're a reformed cheapskate. You were dentist frugal. Talk to the dentists out there. Tell us about your cheapskate ways and why you think now spending more money leads to better outcomes, whether it's a computer monitor or your CE.
So, I'll put my head down and I'll tell you that like the best example is what you're talking about. 10 years ago, if a computer monitor went down in my office, then I went to Walmart and I bought the 17-inch screen because it was cheap. If my Cavitron went out in my hygiene room, then I got on eBay and I got the refurbished one. And what I come to find out is every time I try to save money, I cost myself money in my business. Like if you buy the Cavitron that's refurbed on eBay, guess what? In a year it's dead and you got to do it again. Right. If you have somebody that's trying to run spreadsheets or trying to run patient appointments on a 17-inch monitor, they're not free and open to do what they need to do for them. And the same thing happens with us treating patients. I have learned that the more money I spend on quality learning, the more money I make from it. So when I looked and realized that I needed to buy a DSLR and it was going to be $2,000 for the dental setup, it was uncomfortable for cheapskate Brett. But that $2,000 camera paid for itself the first time I took a whole bunch of pictures and put them up on my MacBook and showed my patient their teeth and said, look at this in the big screen. What would you like to change? It's the same with the education program.
Right? I appreciate you sharing authentically, and we'll send you another free Nacho t-shirt. You'll like that as a reformed cheesecake. But what I feel is one thing, I have plenty of opportunities for improvement, as my wife would say, plenty of weaknesses. But one of the things that I'm particularly good at is talking about money with people, especially patients. And I think because I am not a cheapskate, when I look at someone and say, this investment in chewing and smiling with confidence is $30,000. And I had patients just like you, Brett, who weren't sure if they're going to spend the money, and patients just like you are glad they did it. And most of all, this is a magic words, they wish they did it sooner. I'm going to ask you, do you wish there was something like RIPE Global for you sooner in your career?
I am jealous because, I'm 17 years into practice, but I took my fellowship cohort with people that were 1 or 2 years out of dental school. And I sit here and look at what I've learned from Rehab Global and how it's changed and transformed my practice. How it's just, it's made me more confident.
Yeah.
And if I could get compounding interest on me learning that
Yeah,
5 years
that's
out of school instead of 15 years out of school, like the amazing growth that I would have seen between now and then would be immeasurable.
Well,
So
look
like,
at
I'm glad I did it
learn from
now,
us.
but
I love that. Learn from us, Brett. I still think you're like the Benjamin Button of dentistry. You look so young. I'm 45. I know you're probably just a few years younger than me, but that's such great value to share. People can text right to 215-543-645 or learn more. But in my last thing, I don't want to talk about money. I don't want to even talk about beautiful smiles. I want to talk about you as a person, as a dentist. The camaraderie that you built with your group, from the instructors and the people in it. Tell our audience how that is a magical part of maybe your morale and how you feel about yourself and who has your back.
of all of the experience that I've gotten through this 2 years, like the clinical education has been amazing, but the most important has been the people I have met and created relationships with.
Yeah.
Because I'm isolated, like I didn't have amazing people within driving distance that I could call and talk to about these things. And this is global, literally global.
Yeah.
So like I have people in Singapore, in Switzerland, in England, in Australia,
That's
all
awesome.
over the world. And these are people that actually care about dentistry like I care about dentistry. So, it's a wonderful thing about time zones, about global. If you ask a question on a global forum, someone's always awake.
Yeah,
And
that's
someone
great.
always wants to talk about it. And like
I
the
love that.
mentors I've made, like if you look at the educators that are in this group, like these educators aren't the kind of educators that you go for the course and then you go home and they never want to talk to you again. We're in contact. Like I can ask these people questions about things that aren't directly related to the fellowship, and they're going to give me their experience. Like if you take the learning away, I have still gotten enough value out of just the relationship I've created through the fellowship to be well worth what I've spent.
I love that, Brett. Well, you're a nacho friend to me now, face to face. I appreciate what you do. Thanks so much for sharing. And I'm going to get on your treatment plan schedule for 2024. So when we get off of this, I'm going to tell you when you come to Philadelphia. Thanks so much, Brett.
Awesome. Thank you.